Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well. So today we'll be continuing with our look at the British India Rupee. For the purpose of this series of videos which I'll be doing, I'll be discussing the silver 1 rupee coins issued from 1862 to 1876. Now the topics that I'll be covering are actually quite extensive, and there are actually too many coins and variations to show for just one video. So I'll break these discussions into 4 videos. For this first video, I'll be sharing the various dyes and varieties that you'll find with these coins, as well as how to identify them. For the next 2 videos, I'll show you the variations that you will see in the 1862 coins. And for the fourth and final videos, I will illustrate the coins from 1874 to 1876. As usual, before we begin, please give me a like if you enjoy this sort of content, and don't forget to share and subscribe. So let's get into it. So let's begin with a little introduction. Before the British Indian 1 rupee coins were used, coinage in the British Indian territories were issued by the East India Company, or EIC. I have an example here. You can see the early portrait of Queen Victoria, designed by William Wyon. And on the reverse, we can see the legend, East India Company. I've done a series of videos talking about these coins, and I highly recommend that you go and watch that just to get some background information. I'll leave the links to those videos at the end of this video, as well as in the description text below. Now the EIC continued to issue coins until the Indian Rebellion of 1857 to 1858, following which the administrations of British Indian territories was transferred to the British Crown, and circulating coins were minted under the direct authority of the Crown. The first British Indian 1 rupee coins were introduced in 1862, bearing a different portrait of Queen Victoria and the legend Queen Victoria on the obverse. These coins no longer have the East India Company legend on the reverse. These coins continued to be minted until 1876. Whereupon new coinage were introduced in the following year, 1877, which bore a new legend on the obverse. The legend here reads Empress Victoria, as opposed to Queen Victoria of the previous coins. With the exception of the legend, the basic designs of the obverse and reverse remains unchanged. Now these coins continue to be minted for quite a long time. They were last issued in 1901, but that's a subject for another video. Okay, so let's go now to the specifications of the coin. The 1 rupee coin was minted in 0.917 silver. They generally have a weight of 11.66 grams. Giving them a silver weight of 10.7 grams, or approximately 0.34 troy ounces. The coins have a thickness of approximately 2 millimeters, and they all will have the reeded edge. Now the 1 rupee coins were minted at all 3 Indian mints, the Calcutta, Bombay and Madras mint. And these mints will issue coins with varying differences in their diameter. For the Calcutta mint, generally the coins issued will have a diameter of less than 30.7 millimeters. The Bombay mint will issue coins with a diameter of 30.7 to 30.9 millimeters. While the final mint, the Madras mint, Generally issue coins with a diameter of greater than 30.9 millimeters up to 31 millimeters. The Madras Mint closed its operation in 1867, so it only minted these coins for a few years. Here on the obverse, we can see the portrait of Queen Victoria, designed by William Wyon. You can see that she's facing to the left, and surrounding her is the legend Queen Victoria. On the reverse, we have the face value of the coin, 1 rupee, the country of issue, India, separated from the 1 rupee by this line, and the year of issue, 1862 for this particular coin. Surrounding the lettering are various designs of the lotus flower. Okay. Now the designs of the reverse as well as the obverse remains unchanged until 1901, with the exception of the change of the legend from Queen Victoria to Empress Victoria in 1877, as I mentioned before. However, there are some differences in the die for the obverse and the reverse, and I'll highlight that to you next. Alright, let's go now into the various die varieties. The first variety can be seen on the obverse of the coin, and it has to do with the portrait of the Queen, specifically her dress. Now, if you look at the panel down here, for the type A variety, the panel down here will have 3 3/4 of a panel. So 1, 2, 3 3/4. Here we have the type B variety for the obverse, and the type B variety will have 4 1/4 panel. So 1, 2, 3 4 1/4 down here. The third and final variety on the obverse is known as the type C, and this type is quite similar to the type A, except that here we have 3 1/3 of a panel. Now the way to differentiate the type C from the type A is to actually look at the leaves on the last panel here. The design will actually have less leaves than the type A. Let me just show it to you side by side. Here we have the type A. If you look at the bottom panel here, which is 3/4, you will see that there's 2 leaves shaped like a V. Below the V, you will see a number of leaves. On the type C, for the 1/3 panel, you can see the V shape of the 2 leaves, but there's nothing below. The V actually touches the rim. So this panel here is just a little bit smaller than this panel here. And because of that, this is known as the type C. Alright, let's now take a look at the die varieties that exist on the reverse. There are actually 4 different varieties that have been identified, but for the sake of simplicity, I'll only be showing you 2, because these are the 2 that are present on the coins issued between 1862 to 1876. The first variety is known as the type 1, which is what I have here. And you can identify it from the lotus flower here, as well as the number 1. Now the lotus flower here is known as the open flower, and it has blunt petals. The number 1 here has a flat top. So this is a die variety number 1. And here we have a die variety number 2. Again, you can identify from the top flower and the number 1 here. The flower here on top is known as the closed flower. You can see that the design is different. And the number 1 here has a pointed top instead of a flat. So this is the number 2 die variety. The third and final major differences that you can find between these series of coins can be seen on the reverse, and you will see sometimes a series of dots over here and over here. For this particular coin, there are no dots. While on some coins, you will see a series of dots above the bottom flower. Like this example here, we have 4 dots. There can be as little as 1 dot up to as many as 12 dots. On other coins, you may see dots just below the top flower and dots just above the bottom flower. Like this particular coin, we can see 1 dot here and 2 dots over here. The combination of dots may vary. There may be 1 dot and 1 dot here, or 3 dots and 3 dots here, or even 2 dots and 1 dot here. It depends on the coin that you find. Now, no one really knows why these combination of dots exist only on the 1862 coins. One theory is that the Bombay Mint minted the 1 rupee coin from 1862 to 1874. However, all the coins minted at the Bombay Mint have only one date behind it, which is 1862. And the funny thing is, the 1862 Bombay minted coins are the ones that have the combination of the dots. So the theory is the dots actually indicates the year of mintage, since the date here was never changed. Of course, that's just a theory. There are also speculation that the dots indicate that the coins are forgeries. However, I believe that's highly unlikely. Okay. There are also other minor varieties that you can look out for this series of coins. For example, on this Obverse, which is the type B, you can see on the crown here, the pearls are slightly elongated or oval in shape. And over here, right down here on the rope, you can see the letter B mint mark, just over here. On other coins, like this one, which has the type A portrait of the Queen, you can see on the crown here, the pearls are round and not elongated. While over here, on the base of the rope, there is no letter V. Again, these combinations of varieties exist on different coins. And so far for the 1862 rupee coins, 42 known different varieties have been recorded. For the 1 rupee 1874 to 1876 coins, 9 different varieties have been recorded. So on my next video, I'll be showing you how to identify the various varieties. As an example, on this 1862 Bombay minted coin, this coin has the type A obverse with the 3 3/4 panel on the rope. A type 2 reverse with a closed flower and a pointed top, number 1, and 1/2 dots, which means 1 here and 2 here. So that's how you will identify the various differences on the coin, which we will go through on my next video. So that's going to do it for now. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that wasn't too confusing for you. And you now know how to basically identify the 3 major varieties on this series of coins. On my next video, I'll show you the various differences that you can see on the 1862 coin with the Type A Obverse. Be sure not to miss that. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Otherwise, don't forget to give me a like if you have enjoyed this content. And don't forget to share and subscribe if you have not done so. As always, please take care, be safe, and have a nice day.